Hello, Chris Green here with the Flood Insurance Guru. If you've got questions about flood insurance, flood education, flood zone changes, elevation certificates, click below to visit our website, floodinsuranceguru.com. You can also check out our daily flood education videos on our YouTube channel. Remember, we have an educational background on flood mitigation, which means we can help you understand flood risks like this right here, your flood insurance, and mitigating your property long term to help you minimize flood losses and flood premiums. Today we're talking about, is private flood insurance the best option for your Birmingham property? Now today what we're talking about particularly are Birmingham, Alabama properties. We're talking about areas like Pelham, Alabama, Alabaster, Alabama, Homewood, Alabama, Vestavia, Alabama. You know, you've heard about the National Flood Insurance Program, some of the benefits it offers. Today we want to take a deeper look at private flood insurance and why it might be the best option for your property. If you're not aware, private flood insurance has really come into the market very heavy in the last 15 years. You know, it's a little different than the National Flood Insurance Program. The National Flood Insurance Program is backed by FEMA. Private flood insurance is backed by private companies. These are generally what's called non-admitted companies, which means they have to follow different guidelines. There's things you have to be cautious about when claims are paid out or after a claim, or maybe after flood data changes in an area like what happened in East Alabama in 2019 with all the flooding. Now, while there can be some risk with private flood when it comes to flex rates going up and down a lot, or even policies being non-renewed, there are still some great benefits like replacement costs on contents for your personal property in your house in the Birmingham, Alabama area, or additional living expenses. So if your house floods, you have a place to go. You know, this can be very important. We had a customer in Nebraska that this happened to, and she had about 6 months of additional living expenses that other people in her neighborhood didn't because they had a policy through the National Flood Insurance Program. Now also remember, the National Flood Insurance Program on residential properties is limited to $250,000. Now private flood could go up into the millions. So it's really important to understand that, but it's also understand the pricing in Birmingham, Alabama on these type of policies. You know, we've seen it where it's 30, 40, 50% less. But what you want to be cautious about is that you're not saving $100 this year to lose $1,000 next year. And that's one of the things we take a look at here at the Flood Insurance Guru, is the stability of what these rates may look like the next year. Because you have to be cautious. Sometimes private companies do what's called buying the market. They give you a really cheap rate that first year, and either that next year the rate goes up significantly, or you might even be non-renewed and you have to go back to the National Flood Insurance Program, and now you've lost some benefits that you had. So these are all things to be cautious about. But you really want to take a deeper look at private flood insurance in the Birmingham, Alabama area to see if it's a good fit for you. But as I said, we also want to be cautious. So if you've got questions about whether private flood insurance is the best option for your Birmingham, Alabama property, click below to visit our website, floodinsuranceguru.com. Remember, we have an educational background on flood mitigation, which means we can help you understand flood risks like this right here. Your flood insurance and mitigating your property long term. Thank you.